Hi boys and girls, I hope you've enjoyed getting started on whatever your choice is for your landscape. So now I'm going to show you how we're going to add all of those fabric type pieces, just like Bisa Butler. So one of the things you're going to want to see is what materials you'd like to use or what you have. So I'm going to show you how to do one if you just really have white paper at home, totally fine. You can add colored paper in, or you can even add real fabric or wrapping paper scraps if you have anything like that at home. But just to get you started, there's two ways you can do it. So if you have your drawing, you can take a piece of paper and you can start to create some designs for how you're going to fill it in. So all I did here was I took a crayon and I started making some lines and I kind of made some X's, but you can do swirly lines or wavy lines, you can do swirly lines, zigzag lines. You can go back and look at Bisa's artwork and see if there's anything that you like, any patterns that you like, and start creating those. And what you can do is you can fill your paper in like a puzzle. And after you do your lines, you can color over them, you can fill it in. That's how I did with this one. I started to color over it and fill it in. Now, when you're done with that, you can start to take those designs, these are some other ones that I did, and you can start to, you have two choices. You can start to crumple them up, and you keep crumpling over and over and over again, and then it will start to get softer like fabric, or you can keep it flat if you'd like. One thing to note, when you crumple it, the paper actually starts to get a little smaller than it started. So it'll just change a little bit that way too. So what I could do now, here's my drawing. So what I could do is I could look at the shape of the mountain and I could lay it on top and I can kind of draw like this and kind of come up with what I think it looks like underneath. And then I can use my scissors, or you can tear it if you want to. So if you want to tear your paper like this, and it'll give it like a really cool edge, you can do that. Or you can cut it out with scissors. And then you can lay it on top and you can start to glue it down and fill it in like a puzzle that way. And I want your whole paper to be filled in. I did start this one on a colored background. If you want to do that, you can do that. If you don't have that at home, don't worry about it. For your sky, you can patch it in with paper, or you could add in designs in the background. Maybe you'd want to add swirls symbolizing some wind. This is all artist's choice, okay? So that's one way to do it. You can keep filling in. I'll show you how to do a hill. And if it's not perfect, it's fine. Yours should be in the pencil, so you can erase your lines. Mine I did in the crayon, so here's cutting it out with scissors. So it just depends on the line that you want to create. Remember, this is artist's choice. And you can start to piece it together that way. If you want, you could create a background of your own, and then you can start to cut out your pieces and use those as a tracer if you like that better. These are two different ways. You can just fill it in like a puzzle, or you can cut your piece apart to make it like a tracer. So I'm gonna use this big piece. And then I would glue that down. Okay. Now I need to know how to make my mountains. So I'm going to cut this out. You can cut it out as one piece. You can make it whatever works for you. And then I'm gonna use like this, and I'm going to trace my own pieces right onto there. Might be hard for you to see, but there is a line there. Again, you can tear it or cut it, especially when you're using anything with straight lines or points. You might want to make it a little bit more pointy. It's really up to you. And then you're going to put it down like this. You can start to glue it on. Then you can continue to cut out each hill as you want. And again, if you want to make these different colors, if you want to trace it on colored paper, if you have colored paper, I did make some other colors here. So you can start to cut those out and start to piece those together and build your quilt that way. And you can start to add all different details. So I don't want you to feel worried if you don't have enough colored paper at home. You can create your own zigzags, your own designs, your own patterns, your own fabric, just like Bisa Butler. So you can use colored paper, you can create your own paper, you can do crumples, you can leave it flat, you could even find fun papers called vellum and overlay it like that. Remember, we talked a little bit about overlapping, so as you start to glue pieces down, you can start to put them on top of each other and just start to build your own quilt. And that's this step of the project. So remember, my two biggest things, I want you to enjoy and stay creative.